All right, let's take a look at the matchup. We did get the injury report the other day, and for Florida, I mean, I think the biggest thing that they probably were trying to get back on the field, the biggest player they were trying to get back on the field, Dallas Wilson, very talented receiver. I know that he did miss Wednesday's practice and doesn't look like he's going to be able to go in this contest, but, you know, the more you go down the road, the closer you get. Like some of these LSU players that maybe we thought didn't have an opportunity to play look like they are ready to go. So LSU center Braylon Moore is probable now. Remember, Coach Kelly's like, I think he's probable. I don't know. Does it say questionable? And it did. It said questionable, but it has been elevated to probable. He's got that ankle injury, and it seems like because he is probable that it's probably not the high ankle. You know, and I know that they've mentioned that, but it's like, okay, well, is it really, though? Is it really a high ankle?
So has the injury not been announced like what it is? I guess it's a lower
it's just
body.
Ankle.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's just ankle.
Yeah, I mean, those high ankles are pretty tough to come.
But it feels like this is truly like they've kind of talked about. It's just an ankle injury. High ankle and an ankle injury, as Dr. Stephen Etheridge told you on Wednesday, there is a difference there.
Yeah, and the high ankle, obviously, we all kind of know just because we're all
I know that Flynn's ankle kind of has the same situation going on from the bottom to the top.
There's no difference to decipher the beginning and the end.
Yes.
Wow.
Sorry.
All right. Well, let's just. I mean, it took you 23 minutes to start the body shaming, so I don't know what took you so long, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I've had I've had all the sprains.
Yeah.
And certainly the high ankle one is much severe. And we talk about like the word sprain is such a misleading term, because it can mean a whole heck of a lot of things. Like I said, the one that I had, the sprain that I had, it meant there's actually a crack in my bone. That doesn't sound like a sprain to me. It sounds like a cracked bone. But you know what? It was called a high ankle sprain, and that's where you have the different grades of severity on those things. But, yeah, it does sound like that it was either a low grade high ankle sprain or a regular ankle sprain. Now, don't ask me to repeat what Dr. Etheridge said and tell you the difference between the two. I just know that one's a little bit higher than the other.
Yeah. There's a lot of words.
A lot of words
big
that
words.
were said. You know what, though?
That's why you got to tune in on Wednesdays.
Credit to myself. I stared him right in the face, and I nodded my head like I knew exactly what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like.
Just keep saying yeah.
That is that is small talk 101 right there.
It is.
Just nod your head in agreement. And you make the person you're talking to feel good because they think you understand.
Yeah. And I say it often, if you don't know their name, you say easy money, like my dad said when he met somebody he didn't know.
It is an elite response.
Yep.
Because you don't expect it. It makes you feel special because you got to be the only easy money in the whole wide world.
No question.
Man, this guy's thought about me a lot. He even nicknamed me in his spare time.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I'm just a bud guy. Hey, bud. I'm a brother guy, too. I've recently become a brother. What's up, brother?
I'm a brother. I'll throw brother out there.
Yeah, I used to, I mean, subconsciously, I think I used to look down on people that said brother, but now I don't.
Yeah.
I'm a big
as long
brother
as you
guy.
don't say buddy.
Yeah, it's bud. It's got to be bud. Buddy.
I don't love bud either, but you're a bud guy.
I'm a bro, I'm a brother, and a bud.
All right, here is what Brian Kelly did say about it. Braylon took all the reps today with the first team. He's ready to go. I think we're going to list him as probable. Now for Trez Green, he said Trez was out on the field today catching balls, moving around. He's going to be probably a game-time decision. He's not where we need him to be today, but we still have some time. It'd be hard to get Trez Green back on the field. Just seeing the injury that it was, I've had a knee sprain. I'm sure you've had a knee sprain before. It's not a pain situation. Like, well, it's fine. Like, just go up there and brace it up and go. It's not a pain situation. It's not like it hurts really. It's just you have no mobility. Like the things that you once could do, you can't do anymore. And for Trez Green, like he's a freak athlete, and so for him, there's probably a lot of things that he can do. For me, I was limited, but probably closer to myself than Trez Green.
I think with him, like there's so much talent in the receiver room. There's so many pass catchers on this team that you don't really need to rush him back necessarily to be effective and to be explosive on offense, have those opportunities. You don't need him to go out there and cut around. So I think in a normal situation, a normal player position, you would say, hey, sit this one out, bud. But I think from his special skill set, probably in the back of their brains is like, can he line up on goal line and catch a fade route, catch a jump ball? There's not a lot of cutting. There's not a lot of juking. It's one move and go, and you just be bigger than the other guy. Can you do that? Is that something that could be a potential in the game plan for this weekend? We don't need you to go out there and run whip routes and cut on out routes and corners and in routes, blah, blah, blah. But can you give us a couple of plays where we need to throw that old oop-de-oop in there and just line you one-on-one with a guy and run a fade route with you and have a jump ball? And if, you know what? I think that based on my knowledge of the defensive coordinator at Florida, I just need you to line up one-on-one in the red zone because I know they're going to shade a safety over the top of you and line up two people so we can't throw a fade route to you. Yeah, I think that could be part of the thought process because that's another element that shows up with a guy like that can be dynamic and can be just out jump you, out tall you in the red zone. Is you either get the one-on-one or they have to shade a safety over, which is going to allow somebody else to get open over the middle of the field.
So, like, the thing actually, like, if Trez Green doesn't go in this contest, like, okay, all right, let's see some red zone stuff. Let's see some red zone route combinations. Let's see some diversity in the red zone play calling a little bit. Because I get it when you have, somebody that is not like everybody else out there, like Trez Green, and him being 6'7" tall and being able to jump through the roof and all that. Yeah, it's what you're going to do. It's a red zone target. And you have different, like, this would have been 2018, right? Jamar Chase, like, that's what he did for this team, right? He's a freshman. He wasn't an every down player, but like Jamar Chase was the red zone guy, and they would throw jump balls to Jamar Chase, and he'd go out there and was very successful with it. So, like,
I still do that.
Yeah, he's still doing it in the NFL. That's true. So, like, teams have those guys, and there's nothing wrong with it, but now it forces you to do something different. Like, you got to come up with some stuff.
Yep.
You got to come up with some red area stuff because, look, LSU last week, they moved the football, didn't turn it into points. We told you the box score of this game on Monday from a year ago. You beat them in every single category. It wasn't even close. First downs, total yards, but you didn't score points, right? So when you get that opportunity, like, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Joe Sloan and this offense to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, we have all seen the games, and that was one of them last year. You can dominate a team in every single category, but the goal of sports is to score points, and you have to execute. You have to make the plays at the big moments, especially big games like this. So, I would expect LSU to execute really well. I would expect Garrett Nussmeier and the squad to come out and be on their P's and Q's a little bit. I would, especially after a week where they weren't. They had a whole week to think about this, to watch the film, to kind of reset and say, all right, now we got SEC starts now. So I know that the attention to detail, the focus has certainly been there all week. They'll be ready to roll tomorrow. So I'm excited to see how that passing game comes out tomorrow and executes. Excited to see Garrett Nussmeier work in this start of SEC play in his final season as a Tiger. So,
yeah, I want to see what they do with the rushing attack. And I disagree with some of the people, and I think it was Hunt that I saw say this, and it's fine. We disagree a lot. Like, to have
in a loving way.
No, it's fine. I mean, you don't have to turn on the station and have the same opinion. I think he called the receiver run stuff gimmicky. I truly don't believe that. I believe that these receivers do have a skill set to run the football. Because stay with me here. Xavier Thomas, elite returner in his history. Barry Brown, elite returner. Right? Aaron Anderson, elite returner. They've all had touchdowns as a returner. And I say that to bring up, when you look at some of the stuff that they're doing, like getting out a guy in front of them and getting out on the edge and reading where that tunnel's going to hit, as far as when they put their foot in the ground, it's a lot like you're returning the football. So, like Barry and Brown and Aaron Anderson, getting them on some, fly sweeps, jet sweeps, whatever it ends up being, some receiver toss in some of these cases, it can be a part of your run game because you have receivers that have a real skill set to do so. Xavier Thomas is one of the few receivers, maybe the only I've ever seen, that can run true counter and knows what he's looking at and runs it the way that a running back would run it. I think he runs outside zone incredibly well. I don't call it gimmicky. I call it using your skill set.
Yeah, if you have players that have special skills, like that's how you're supposed to get them in positions and situations that are advantageous to what they bring to the table. And Xavier can do a lot of different things. And gimmicky is just, you got to be, there's a blurred line between like a gimmick trick play and something like when you motion a receiver into the backfield. What you're trying to do in that stuff is not gimmick. You're trying to create number and matchup problems. You're trying to get always in any scheme, any play that you draw up, you're trying to get guys in space. You're trying to create one-on-one matchups with a ball carrier in green grass. And the same can be said for you go around and watch the best offenses in the NFL. What do? There's a lot of motions. There's a lot of shifts. Why is that? They're trying to create confusion to create better matchups. When you shift and you motion, you're trying to get your best player on not their best defensive back. You're trying to decipher if they're in man or zone. You're trying to create formationally and create chaos before the snap with motions and shifts to make them communicate a lot so you can have your best matchup and get your best athletes in the most advantageous situation possible, which is the same thing that LSU does with Xavier in motion him into the backfield. You're trying to create good numbers. It's not a trick or a gimmicky play. What you're trying to do is create confusion and getting blocking numbers and let him get into space and one-on-one with a defensive back with a chance to miss. That's what you're trying to do. It's not gimmicky. It's just trying to take advantage of the defense and trying to create a one-on-one matchup with a good athlete.
Yeah, look, I actually like it. I don't mind seeing more of it, in fact, because I think Xavier Thomas is a true jack of all trades, and not like they used to say about like people that they felt like had no real skill set, the jack of all trades, master of none. Been called that a couple of times. Not talking about that. I'm talking about like truly, like he can do a little bit of everything, and I think LSU's done a good job so far, but I think you can involve him even more. I mean, he is different when he's got the ball in his hands, and so it can be an extension of the run game because it is. That's what it is. And so if you're not having success running the football because of whatever reason right now with just your running backs, you've got options. Like Juwan is an option too. Like he can do some different things with the football in his hand. So you've got options. If the running game is not working, I'd like to see them, go to something different, but still stay with the run.
Yeah, they have to improve. I mean, they did better week one than they did week two in the running game, which is, running game's a choice. Running game's a mindset. Offensive line has got to create push, you got to create daylight for the running back to be able to make a cut, make a read. So we'll see. They have to improve if they want to go where they want to go this season. The passing game is going to be there. The explosive plays are going to be there. You got the athletes. But if you want to go and accomplish all the goals that you've had posted on your wall all offseason, if you want to be able to hold the trophy up at the end of the season, you have got to improve the run blocking. You have got to improve the run game, whether that comes from a schematic standpoint, a game plan standpoint, or a mindset standpoint of the guys on the field.
Execution,
an execution. So if you want to get where you got to, if you want to get where you want to go this season, got to improve the run game.